Is it running? Hopefully, I hope so. Today, my name is Martin Schweiger and I'm a patent attorney in Singapore. And I'm also a powerlifter. And I take you with me on my daily walk. That gives me a large portion of the cardio training, cardiovascular training that I need for aging strong. Today is a Saturday. It's now 2 p.m. and we have the 15th of February 2025. I'm exactly 6.5 days away from the first lift in the Singapore Nationals, and my plan is to compete in the 105 kg class. I went a long way. Before my accident in the year of 2023, that was in July, I competed in a super heavy weight class. It's called the King's class. King's class, because you only find the kings there of each country. Under 20 kg and heavier. So, and I, with my only 132 kg on an international level, was considered as a chopstick. And many of my friends weigh more than 150 kg, some even 170, and they're very strong. And it was such an honor to compete with them, and even more honor to celebrate after the meet. And these guys can really eat and drink. Fun, I tell you. This is like Formula One, probably, when you're a driver. Okay, I mean, with my accident, I told you already, I had to really go down in my weight, because otherwise my repaired tendon in my left knee would always be inflamed because of tendonitis, because of overload. And so I decided to go down, and that was also good because I had a metabolic disorder. I repeat myself, but for those who come late, yes. And I healed myself without pharmaceuticals, just by exercise and changing my lifestyle and also the diet. And part of that lifestyle is why I do a daily walk, because I believe that changed really a lot in my life, more than anything. And you can feel it within a week when you start, when you're so fat. Then the first walks are really difficult. But as in weightlifting, you increase gradually. Here the distance when it comes to walking, and you just make it harder every day. At one point in time I added mountains. I mean, Singapore and mountain sounds like a contradiction, but we have some hills that are a few hundred meters high. It's enough for exhausting you, especially when you're just beginning. Yeah, so I'm down from 133 kg to the lowest was last week. Now this week, under 3.2 kg, which is squarely in the 105 kg weight class. But that's my full weight cut, includes everything. And now this morning I was up to 106.4 something 4 kg. Was it 107.4? It doesn't really matter because such a short time before the competition, anything that helps to cut weight is okay. So you just cut weight. You can do by sweating, by exhausting yourself. Removing all the glucose from the cells. Then emptying your intestine, very important, because that is a nice gain, 1 kg all the time. Emptying your bladder before weighing in. Yeah, and maybe warming up if that is not sufficient. You have about 2 hours to do so. So yeah, I've done that often. I should be able to do that. I may also try out something new. And if I do, then I will let you know afterwards and about how successful that was and how nice. Secret. You can see already for my next competition, the emphasis is on cutting weight and not so much on the lifted weights. And that's also interesting because it makes lifting weights and strength training a preferred way to improve your health, especially when you're old. It focuses me on the most important aspects. I wanted to share something with you because I had a calcium computer tomography test done in my chest. It was the first one in more than 15 years. I remember the one 15 years ago was negative, so no calcium at all. And this time the result was different. One of the reasons why I took there are 2 reasons why I took that test. One of the reasons was because maybe a year ago I had done an ultrasonic test with my so-called carotenoid arteries. They are here in the neck, left and right. And there was some plaque found in those arteries. And I understood it's very normal for people in my age, men in my age especially. I was minor, and so this year I was thinking of doing the same test again to see whether my year-long efforts with respect to nutrition, cardiovascular health, weight loss, supplements, and so on were successful. But then the doctor said, hey, why don't you take this CT test? It's not expensive, quite fast, and let's go. The second reason why I wanted to do a calcium test was because, if you remember, I've also written about that on my blog, the iplawyertools.com blog, iplawyertools.com, that I try to improve my vitamin D levels, DS delta. And I first tried by to do this by taking a walk 1 hour under the sun at noontime every day for 6 weeks. And my vitamin D levels when I started doing this was at something like 24. There are two measurements and the units are different. And so what I can tell you is that the recommended level in this measurement is about 100 or 125, at least less than that. Right? And in that scale, I went up from 24 to 27. So a very minor gain. Maybe I should have done this for months, not only for weeks. But anyway, so I thought, after talking to the gardener who works in Florida, he said that it's almost impossible to get the vitamin D to healthy levels of like 50 or 70 just by spending time in the sun. And I believe him. So what I did is, I did a 6 weeks long supplement session with something like 23,000 units per day. Recommended is something like 800 or so, right? So, but again, I believe that these health supplements, you can overdose in a large amount for a long time or medium time without putting yourself in danger, because otherwise they wouldn't be allowed as supplements that are over the counter. The manufacturer of health supplements told me that once. Anyway, and I also believe that you only should treat what you can measure. So I had measurements on a regular basis, and I went up to 70 in a very short time. Then it took longer to go up to 80. My goal was to reach 100. The toxic value in the blood started 250. Okay, continued, and I went up to 120 and a bit beyond. Still okay, but then I decided to stop it, to get the value down to below 100 and above 90, somewhere around that. So I thought that this makes sense. And as my annual checkup was there, I also decided to check my magnesium level and also the calcium level in the blood, because these two are somehow involved when it is about vitamin D. It says the magnesium would help limit the absorption of vitamin D in the body in total, and vitamin K would drive it into the bones and whatever. So I believe I have enough vitamin D. I stopped it, and just to be sure, because vitamin D, if overdosed for a long time, can promote calcification of your arteries. So, now you have my 2 reasons for doing the calcium computer tomography test. Now you want to know the result, right? Okay. So my heart arteries are all 100% clear from calcium, except one artery, one single artery, which is the LAD artery. And I looked it up, and LAD means left anterior artery. And it seems to me that this is regularly the case, because this is the biggest artery and there's a lot of things are going on there. A lot of shear stress by the blood flowing to that one. Also, yeah, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, I'm on thin ice, I'm an engineer, and I look at that aspect more like someone looking at an engine that is already a few 100,000 kilometers used in a car. Anyway, so the total result says I'm in the 36th percentile of the male population, and I believe in my age, my age group, and that means that in a room with 100 people of my age, there are 60 that are worse off, and that is a average value taken together with the result that all the arteries in my heart are clear. It's good news, I would say. So, so I asked my specially trained metabolic disorder GPT what to think about it, and then the answer was very positive. Hey Martin, very cool. That is really a golden warning shot. Unlikely that you die of coronary disease or heart attack, but plaque in the LAD, left anterior descending artery, should always be taken seriously. That means, and then it's a long list of things that I have to do. And the funny thing is, not funny, I mean surprising, the things that are recommended are the same as what you would do against high blood pressure, diabetes 2, thyroid problems, lipid panel, cholesterol, what else? Overweight, erectile dysfunction. A long list comes out from the GPT, and you see all the. I believe if you go to a normal working day to a doctor, medical doctor, then 9 of 10 patients in the room would have at least one of the issues on that list. Okay, so I'm on a good way, and the best. Then out came a list of the 10 golden foods for fighting coronary artery plaque. And the thing is mouth-watering, because you find things like grass-fed steak, then dairy, beef, then you find fish, olive oil, avocado, spinach, beets, like beetroot, but not only that. And you know, over time, really love this, to learn to love this food and to cook things with it and tasty things. And this is good. So even if the result would have been worse, then I would still see a way out. And now I have a measurement result. I can keep that one and do the same measurement maybe next year or in 2 years or in 3 years from now. And yeah, so what I did is supplements, because the GPT also says you need to take vitamin D, then you need magnesium, you need vitamin K. So, and I stopped vitamin D already. All supplements that contain vitamin D, and there are many that put vitamin D in some combined supplements. So I cut out 3 or 4 of my supplements that I've taken for a year. So I ordered a bottle of vitamin K. That was the only change. And vitamin K drives the calcium in the blood into the bones. Hello, Peppo. I'm telling people about my healthy endeavor. So this is my friend Peppo.
Hi.
Yeah, say something.
How's your glucose level today?
Didn't check.
Okay, please check.
But my weight is 100. Before I started walking, 106.8.
This is not healthy. No,
What is not healthy? He's hiding a cigarette.
no. Don't show.
Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's my only change. And but also not because my calcium level in the blood measured in January was very normal, within the normal range. Yeah. So now you know. And if I have only one thing to say, don't be scared of any measurement that is done with your body, because it will only help you to improve and set the baseline. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.